Kaleb Rankin.
Hey everyone, thank you for being here with All Access Live with Kevin Rankin. Today is a very special show for me. As you may know, Kaleb Rankin is actually my son, known in the industry as Big Cap. He's got a new record coming out. But before we start talking about that, I want to thank my sponsors. Five Star Guitars is based in Beaverton, Oregon, which means that if you order outside of the area, you don't have to pay any sales tax. And if you order using the link below at fivestarguitars.com/allaccess15, you're going to save 15% off everything you see there. So check out, you'll save 15%. You'll say you paid no sales tax and you're going to support the show. So let Five Star Guitars know that All Access Live sent you, and I appreciate that. Now, I also want to thank my newest members of YouTube on our membership channel. If you're on any other channel other than YouTube, do me a favor. Go to youtube.com/@accesskevin and become a member. I'd love it if you subscribe, but if you become a member and support the channel, we'll not only give you shout outs, but we're going to give you instant access to some of the private interviews that we're doing. I've got an interview coming up with Kelly Keegi from Night Ranger. I've got Midge Ure from Ultravox and also Cy Kernan from The Fix. Those are all going to be members only premieres, and I will release them to the public later, but you're going to get first crack at it. So become a member by going to Access Kevin at YouTube and join the membership section. Now, if you didn't already know, Kaleb Rankin, my son, is not only a fantastic drummer and a great songwriter, but he's also a wonderful hip hop artist. And he's got a new record coming out in just a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about that and some of the early releases. So with no further ado, let me bring on camera Mr. Kaleb Rankin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Very well.
Coming to me from that incredible studio with some color coding there, my purple. I appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. And I'm hopeful that in the studio somewhere, we're going to get a little cameo appearance from Mr. Edgar Allan Pug.
Of course.
Awesome, man. Here. Well, how are things up in Portland?
A bit cold. Definitely a bit cold. Mm-hmm.
Is it rainy?
No.
Good. All right.
It's been nice.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Santa Fe it's sunny. It's cold as well. But, you could be in Montana where it's like 10, 15 below right now. So, but that's not where the hip hop game is, right? So,
no, I mean, I guess Bozeman does have, my friend out here actually does throw a party out in Bozeman once a year. He does parties all over the U.S. now, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe Capital K can get out there and do some shows and see my old homeland.
There's definitely some fans out there.
Cool. Right on. And thank you for using the purple cup on this show too. I think I need to have everything branded for Access. There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey man, one of the things that we're chatting about, you've got a new record coming out. I'm going to introduce people to that. It's a little bit different than the stuff that you've had before. If they go to kalebrankin.com right now, I know that they can get access to the Moving On record and your first EP as well.
Right. All my previous music is going to be on there. And then on the 2nd, of course, I'll have my debut freshman album. That should be mass produced and sent out all over the place. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
The 2nd of December, right? So we're just a week or two away. Okay. Mm-hmm. So 12/12/2022 is the actual official release.
Yeah, 12/2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the record is called?
It's called Big Cap.
Okay.
That's kind of a nickname of mine. I mean, of course, my actual rap name is Capital K, but I'm really stoked for this. It's going to be the next step.
Yeah.
I've got a dog that wants to come on. He's poking his head in here.
I would love it. Yeah, can you bring him on? I would love to. All right, guys. If you've not met Edgar Allan Pug before, this is the MVP. Where's my Edgar? Oh my goodness! Look at this dog. Hey, buddy. Edgar.
There we go.
Can you get on the microphone? You want to tell people a little bit about what's up, Big Cap? Hi, Edgar. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah.
There he is.
He is so awesome,
He's the
man.
best.
Yeah, he's a good dog. When you're recording your stuff and you've got your studio there, does he leave you alone or does he want to be part of the show?
When I'm recording music, I usually have him out of here on the
Mhm.
just out anywhere but in the room because I don't want to have any sounds interfere with the mic. Sometimes he does blast out a fart or two, or I don't know, snores pretty loud, so I don't want to get that in the mic. But
Oh man, if you got his snore, you might be able to, license that and get some extra dough.
right.
So Big Cap is the record. I know it's a deluxe record. What technically makes that deluxe?
Um, okay, so the original plan was to release a standard length album.
Okay.
Um, as you can see, there's 22 songs. It's definitely a lengthy one.
Yeah.
I have an excuse, and let me just mention that Chris Brown dropped a 46 song album last year. So 22 is not that bad. I've been
Right.
told 22 might be a little long. Some people might not finish it. But I will say, if you like an artist enough, you'll go to any length to listen to as much as their music as possible. I've definitely went above and beyond for most artists and dug up some unreleased stuff even because when you listen to the same songs from them over and over, it can get
Sure.
not, I wouldn't say like overwhelmingly boring,
Mhm.
but you want something new from them.
Sure.
So definitely it's cool to have a long album because this is all my best work. I want to showcase all the different things that I can provide
Sure.
right now, at least at this point, because it's much better than the previous projects that I've released, just because of experience and so much time has gone by and so much practice has gone into it. So, yeah.
You talk about experience. So what I think I'd noticed in the records before, even the work that you've done, you're also part of a trio out of Denver called Zulus, correct?
Right.
And so the songwriting that I heard before, sometimes your songwriting was, it was some fictional stuff, right? You're talking about, experiences out in the street that we might not have had at that point.
Sure.
Over the last few years, I mean, you've certainly, you've added some chapters to your book, and so, in the meaning behind a lot of the lyrics and the songwriting in the new record, how do you
Mhm.
feel like they reflect experiences you've had?
This album, and all my music, I guess, has different points of view. So some of the stories that are told in the songs don't mean anything. Um, I definitely don't want to promote any more violence. Definitely not. It's not my main focus in music at
Sure.
all. It never really has been. Um, being part of a group is really cool. I wanted to touch on sort of the projects that I've done with them. My best friend in music goes by Monte in the music industry. Great dude. He lives over there in Denver, Colorado. He actually mixed and mastered all of the tracks on Big Cap here.
Oh, right on.
That you guys are going to be listening to if you get a chance. I definitely want to give a huge shout out to him because he has helped me a lot on this project and previous projects, especially in the group. And then, of course, there is a third member in the group. Goes by Trazy8. He's great
Nice.
as well. Great musician. Really knows how to write some bars that stay in your head for a while. So, as far as the group goes, we're working on other projects aside from Big Cap because it is my solo stuff. In terms of this album, though, going back to the stories, I have a few songs on the album that are from other people's point of view.
Okay.
I'd like to highlight that as well, just because personally, I do not do any drugs. I've actually never done drugs. I don't drink. I've never drank as well. I don't condone any sort of unsobering of yourself, especially just And not that it really affects me at all, but I definitely encourage people to be like aware and attentive to their
Sure.
surroundings. Um, you never know. I mean, I've been in a lot of major cities downtown, and being alert is definitely like a part of safety for me.
Sure.
So even with the top down in LA, I felt like JFK with the top down.
Sure.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems like
Well,
that these major cities are crazy, but we're getting towards like more love in this music. I'm trying to really show people out of that, and sometimes speaking about it brings awareness to it.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, you know, it's great to know that, you know, if you think about these songs from somebody else's point of view, they're stories essentially, sometimes fiction, and my favorite song in the record. I know that you wrote this a while ago. This is one of the songs that you'd had done for a while, and it's a hook that I can't get out of my mind. You know that you know, of course, as your dad, I'm going to be proud of the stuff you do. But this song in particular, man, I'm telling you, I think if this track had come out from anybody else, I know with the right people behind it, I believe that it could be, you know, atop the charts. The song "Revive." You want to tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind that?
yeah, so um, "Revive" is a song that I wrote in 2020, and it was a lot different than most of the songs that I write. Most of the songs that I write, I will admit, I finish fast.
Mm.
That's what she said. Because I am more focused on the melodies of songs, I guess, in some of my songs than I am at the I don't know, writing triple entendres. I mean that's great stuff. It's never been my strong suit, and I don't intend to step out of my bag. I like to stay in my bag. My lane really is a hook, like you said.
Hmm.
And in Revive, it came so naturally that it's really special. So the story behind it, I guess, is there was a girl in my high school that was like the most. I mean, I knew her, right, and we had 2 classes together. I talked to her, and she died when she was 16, and I was just turning 17. Pretty tragic. You know that person in your life that you never ended up dating or like being intimate with, but you always like thought about it? Like,
Yeah.
well, not always, but you know,
The one that got
like
away.
in a moment, yeah, it could
Yeah.
be like something special. Well, anyways, she was out partying and had a lot in her system, but I won't say it was her fault. She didn't choose to get in that car. There was a car crash going around a corner too fast in the I guess the curvy roads just not too far out from where I live. I'm sure, Dad, I'm sure you've heard about the story.
Yeah.
4 kids died. It's a full car. They just took the corner too fast and hit a tree.
Yeah.
And they were all drinking too. I mean, it is what it is. It's a high school party, I guess, that they had just left. But she was so amazing, like just super nice, very, very nice. And coming back to school the next day, because they don't just cancel school for that.
Right.
I mean, it's just something that everyone talks about, everyone knows about, right? And I guess that story never. I mean, some people put it in their Instagram bios, like, you know, rest in peace, this person, right? But like each individual one or just one of them, right? I'm not going to disclose the name on here, and I don't in the song either because it's very personal, and I don't feel
Sure.
like bringing up the dead is a good mojo. It's not. Um, but yeah, I definitely the feeling and emotion of that song comes from the feeling that I got when I heard the news. I
Okay.
guess 2 years later after I like graduated, or 3 years.
Okay. Well, all right. So, knowing a little bit about the backstory, at least we have some context. I'm
Right.
going to just share a tiny bit of this. My favorite song off the new record, this song is called Revive.
If you were still around to see me now, I will hold you. I was thinking about all of the times that I would show you that you're it, that you're it, that you're worth it. You were all my energy and everything lit. Take all of my pain, cover it up and it'll show through. Every day's a battle, wish I never had to go through. I'll be wishing that you're still alive so I can know you. I can know you, I used to hold you. You were still around to see me now, I will hold you. I was thinking about all of the times that I would show you that you're it, that you're it, that you're worth it. You were all my energy and everything lit. Take all of my pain, cover it up and it'll show through. Every day's a battle, wish I never had to go through. I'll be wishing that you're still alive so I can know you. I can know you, I used to hold you.
Man, yeah, that even the instrumental section behind that is emotionally driven. It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have a idea about how you want to release these songs? Are you going to release individual singles out there first, or are you going to push the record and see what flies?
So I kind of have a reverse release schedule on this,
Okay.
and we'll get into more why that is because, of course, I want to bring up this trip that I have planned at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the month. Um, so in correlation to that, I have an album coming first, which is Big Cap, and I have a single coming reasonably soon after,
Okay.
as sort of a promotion that I want to push on TikTok and some other social medias because it is so good
Mm.
that I feel like that will drive the traction to the album. KalebRankin.com, capital K, all that like landing page sort of thing. My Instagram is
Mm-hmm.
at capital underscore K underscore official. So it's just capital K official. If you look up capital, it'll probably come up within the top names, just
Okay.
that.
So
But if
let's
you look up capital K, it should pop up. That's my Instagram. That's where I'm going to post all my updates on my story. I do have some posts on there as well promoting the album. So the album comes first because
okay.
it's the big project. And then the single that will come out after that is called Can't Love. And that will be promoting the album itself. And the album is going to have, of course, the 22 songs, which has many different genres and feel throughout the album to cater to people that might not like a certain type of song and will only like my other stuff. It's got
Sure.
acoustic, it's got R&B feel, it's got pop, it has more of like a trap, future hip hop, some atmospheric stuff that's very floaty.
Nice.
I'm really excited.
I really like the kind of sound that you've got in some of the earlier stuff that you put out. So I know that the video that people can find on YouTube of you paragliding in Torrey Pines in San Diego,
Sure.
that that's certainly got that atmospheric sort of floaty, almost psychedelic vibe to it.
Sure. Sure.
I believe this here. So you've got your Instagram there. There's KalebRankin.com, or if you go to Instagram, it's at capital underscore K underscore official. So
Yeah.
as the singles are released, people can probably find out about that. I want to ask you really quick about this cover. You did this album cover shoot, I think at Julian Wild's place in Vancouver,
Yeah.
Washington. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it's quite a setting, man. So I know that the model there is also internationally renowned Shauna Colton, right? So if you don't
Yeah. Shout out to
recognize her,
her.
yeah, there's some
Shout
good
out to
shots.
both of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The back cover has that great shot of her leaning in here. His setting is crazy, isn't it? It seems like you're in some like Parisian castle somewhere. But
Right.
tell me about that shoot. Was it pretty fun? Just all the different settings you did?
Yeah. I think the coolest thing about it is stepping into that room. It's a different feeling behind the camera than it is being shot. So when I
Sure.
looked at the pictures afterwards, it looked so European feeling. If I were to close my eyes and then look at the picture, I was like, wow, it's very new to me, at least
Sure.
the setting, because it just doesn't look like anything that I've seen in person. It is like an old and new, timeless setting. I would like to mention as well, if you notice that cup, right
Yeah.
right down there, it has cranberry juice in it, for the record. But,
Okay.
but yeah, so
that's not Hennessy there.
no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, no, it's a great just fun time working with them for sure. Julian's a great photographer, really nice guy. I really appreciate him taking some time out of his day to do all that, and to Shauna as well. She's a great model, and she knows the assignment, definitely.
Yeah, she does. Well, I mentioned Hennessy a second ago. Hennessy and Heartbreak is another song off the record that has just some huge hooks.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll play a taste of it, and then we can chat about that. So this is Hennessy, Heartbreak.
Hennessy and heartbreak, I've been feeling new and you. All alone, spending time with the bottle over you. You expected me to stay, but I don't have time for two. Seeing all the other sides, yeah, they coming out the blue. Step one comes up, then right up it comes a two. I was asking you to leave, cause I couldn't take the truth. Hoping that we could've stopped, started over with the new. But girl, there you go again, looking for another boo. Looking for another.
You know, one thing I notice about these tracks, every time I hear them, there's a different element. I never noticed the flute in that before. That's such a cool track.
It's beautiful at the very end. Actually, and the intro as well. Like before my vocals come in, you can hear the flute. Not quite soloed, but it is very, very prominent without any distractions, and it's definitely a cool piece to that beat, for sure.
I could see you live. I would love to see that song live with you performing with a live band and a flautist coming out there to solo. That'd be it'd be know, if you have a multi-instrumentalist that can play flute and can bring to the vibe of the show, that'd be awesome.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. Shout out to Audio Mac. They do have a YouTube channel, but they are a company that sort of started that trap symphony, trap orchestra, which is very cool. A lot of people don't know about it, but there is definitely a history behind that channel. So I think 4 years ago they started doing it, and it really became popular like 2.5 years ago or so. Some notable names they have: Trippie Redd on there.
Oh wow!
And they have Roddy Ricch, of course. On some more like sing rap style stuff, which is exactly what I'm into, and I'd love to get with those people eventually and do something like that to the songs on this album for sure. It's definitely made for it.
Right on. You mentioned sing rap. Sometimes I have people in the industry ask me stylistically what I would characterize your music as. And I tell them it's, melodic hip hop. I don't know another way to sort of describe it. To compare it to different artists, like there are artists like Drake and Post Malone that are melodic, and your stuff is a little bit more rap, than some of theirs. But
it depends on the project for sure. This project, I'd label it as melodic rap.
Okay,
that's what it is. If I were to put a label on it. I don't want to put myself in a box and say I'm emo rap, because that's definitely not the case. But I do have different topics on this album that I talk about that wouldn't be on, say, my last project or my next. At least I can't guarantee it.
Sure. Tell me about I Stay Awake.
Yeah. Okay. So I Stay Awake was a it was a very interesting time in my life. I was definitely feeling a lot of, I was just staying up all the time, like through the night, like 2 days, 2.5 days, completely sober, but just thinking a lot of depression. I don't want to glorify that at all, but it's definitely something that we go through, especially as men. It is November, so I'd like to mention that it's like National Suicide Prevention Month or something like that. I think for men this month. I could be wrong, but I saw something about that the other day. So there's the number right there, guys. If you don't have anyone to talk to, or you just want to reach out, there's a phone number right there that you can call if you've got issues with drugs or alcohol. And there's also another phone number for a suicide prevention hotline as well. Both of those are really good. And personally, I in the song "I Stay Awake," talk about I don't feel like anybody's out there, and I think that line alone is like, it seems so simple in the song, but if you take it out of the song and you think about that, it gets deep. It definitely does.
For sure.
It definitely does.
I am. Well, why don't we take a listen to it real quick here? And all right, so this song is called "I Stay Awake" on the new Big Cap Deluxe record.
If I stay awake too long, I don't feel like anybody's out there. Oh, girl, can you not take this wrong? Please excuse me, had another nightmare. Whoa, I've been seeing you in my dreams. Girl, you never taught me how to fight fair. And girl, you took away everything. That's why I stay awake. That's why I stay awake. That's why I stay awake.
Yeah, man. Again, very emotionally driven. Your voice sounds great.
Thank you.
One of the, sounding like an old guy. I mean, the stuff that I told you was initially hard for me to get into was, the use of autotune. It is a really commercially used tool. And I think your use of it has really evolved, over the last few years, where it's become, like something that adds to it, and rather, it's not like trying to mask inability to sing. Your melodies are super cool, but for
you.
runs and transitions, and it's cool. Do you have a particular artist that you have found really utilizes it well and kind of emulate that?
Definitely. I know exactly where you're getting at, and I don't even think that you would be able to predict what I'm about to say, but as much flack, and I don't know if this is going to catch any controversy sometime in the future, because as we all know, 10 people died at Astroworld Festival last year in Houston. Rest in peace, those people. But Travis Scott, even though he might have really messed up on that one, definitely can sing without autotune. I've seen him live, and I've seen him on on some TV programs, actually, some like Saturday Night Live, late night stuff. And I will say that the reason he uses the autotune is to add to the sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't really just fill in gaps. What it does is it adds more ability to hit runs that you wouldn't normally hear if someone wasn't purposely doing runs with their throat.
Yeah.
So when I'm using the autotune in real time, I'm not trying to fix my vocals. What I'm trying to do is, I've noticed on some of my songs where you can really hear the autotune, where it's like set to 0 or set to like 5, right? That um, I guess my main reason for having it on there is because I like the sound of it.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
love it.
no, I mean,
Um,
that's cool, like,
yeah,
genuine authenticity, that's cool, and,
yeah, yeah,
y you know, it's one of the questions that I like to sort of get or to talk to people about. November is also like gratitude month, and it's a big thing, like sort of in the media. But
sure.
both of our mutual friend Janine Self gave me this 2-minute gratitude journal a couple years ago,
Hmm.
and I noticed that when I start my day with it, especially out here, when I hike up the mountains and I spend just a couple minutes working on this journal, I just find that it sets my day, the sort of intentions of the day a little bit better. And
Yeah.
I asked my last podcast guest about this, and I think it's interesting to me that get different perspectives from people. This 2 minutes is seriously all you sort of need to do, and you open up this journal, and the focal points. The first thing you write down is, "I will let go of." So I would like to ask you, if the first thing off the top of your head, I'd like to let go of.
Worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just something that really can take over someone's whole day.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Tell me something that you're grateful for today.
Oh, family, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, I even got it tatted.
Yes,
So,
you did. Oh, yeah. You want to show off your new
oh, sure.
Rankin family tats? This is pretty amazing.
So there's family right there, and
Okay.
then there's the last name.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't disagree with the choice of verbiage there.
Hmm.
The last thing is today I will focus on.
Bettering myself, because you can't do anything before that. I mean, it's really important to, um, you know, strive to be better every day. I mean, because if you don't and you lose sight of that, you can really fall behind, and it's a
Sure.
lot harder to push forward um, if you're not starting with that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that's great. That's the 2 minutes that I needed to work on for it for every day. I encourage
Hmm.
everybody to kind of think about that stuff and get out of the ruts. Man, I know for sure I get stuck in them. Um,
Hmm.
the you talked about worry being something that you wanted to let go of. Nothing to fear is the last track I kind of talked about on the record.
Sure.
Do you feel like fear has driven some of the inspiration to get to the point that you're at, or maybe when I say that, nothing to fear, to me, I recognized recently that the absence of fear was something new for me. Worry was still there, some anxiety, about the unknown, but fear does not dictate my decisions anymore. I'm curious about yours.
Yeah. I think right now at this stage in your early 20s, it's important to put a lot of that initial fear aside. Of course, still being reasonably safe in terms of your physical
Sure,
um,
cautious is okay.
health. Yeah, but
Yeah,
definitely like it's good to not be anxious about taking a big step right now because um, you have time to fail early on, and it's good to just chase your dreams. Definitely shoot for whatever you feel like you need to do to make your life better and to not really be scared to try.
okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, that's a good preface to lead in this track, Nothing to Fear, off the new album, Big Cap. Let's check it out.
Pop that seal, taking a deal, getting the feels, nothing to fear. I've been geeked all week, holding strength to sleep, counting this new blue cheese, making my fingers bleed. Pop that seal, taking a deal, getting the feels, nothing to fear. I've been geeked all week, holding strength to sleep, counting this new blue cheese, I'm making my fingers bleed.
Man, yeah, the way that you're using attitude there is really, really cool, and the energy
Thank
of
you.
that song. I'd say that's a good
It's
driving
got
song.
energy for
Yeah,
for a stage show.
yeah,
Oh man,
absolutely. I could
pretty
see
cool.
that. Who was the perfect touring pair for you? Like who, if you could go out and you could get a sort of international tour, who's the either the headliner or the co-headliner? Who would Capital K best hit the stage with?
Dead or alive? Alive for sure. I've got some options.
Okay. Alive.
Yeah, alive. I would say three main names for sure. I would say Travis
Scott. Okay.
Probably Roddy.
Okay.
Roddy Ricch for
Roddy
sure.
Ricch.
And maybe a little TJ. He's great as well. Yeah.
Okay. If you guys are out there listening, yeah. Well, then make sure you add Capital K on your touring regimen. You've got distribution set up for this record. I think when the record comes out on the 2nd. You want to talk a little bit about this trip you have planned?
Sure, I'd love to. So yeah, at the end of this month, on the 29th, I'm going to head out over to Phoenix to meet with a really awesome friend of mine. Really great guy. His name's Joe, and he owns a studio out there. And he's got some really great stuff planned. I'll just have to show you guys on social media, so make sure you follow my Instagram. But I'm really stoked. The plan is to talk about, of course, the promotion of this album and some future projects as well. But the cool thing about this album is it is going to be moved off of my previous label and onto my new label, OMH, which is Only Make Hits.
I love it.
Records. It's a new company that I founded just this year. And the distribution is going to be exclusively through Tully, which is an app.
Okay.
It's on any computer, and it's also on Android and iPhone as well. It's a really new distribution app that's better than DistroKid and CD Baby and TuneCore and all of those, because the cool thing about it is when you add people's email in, they can also have access to your masters and projects and stuff like that, files, so they can go in and mix it remotely and upload it back to the app so you can hear it, add any revisions, comment on the mix or whatever. And you can also collaborate through there really easily as well, of course, because if you just upload the file and it's got an open verse, you can send it to an artist and it's secure. It's not going to get leaked. Sending emails is definitely it's a little more risky because they can get hacked, and there's a lot of leaked Drake songs out there for sure.
Really,
so an app like that,
pre-released,
unreleased. He never released them because they got leaked and he got pissed.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, as an artist, you want to be able to control when your stuff gets heard.
Sure.
And Revive, came out. I mean, it wasn't out, but I wrote it 2 years ago, and I didn't want to release it till this main project because it fits in so well with the other music. And
Sure.
I'd be super bummed if it did get leaked. So
yeah. Well, I know that we leaked a little bit of it here, but they'll be able to get the entire record in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
So Tully, that app, are they also distributing so that people can get it through like Amazon and Spotify and Apple Music and all those other channels?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's essentially a platform that when you put your music on there, it's really easy to set up albums and singles and stuff like that to release it on there. It's just simple. It's a few clicks.
Okay.
Yeah, Tully's great. It's TULLY if you guys want to check it out. My friend down there in Phoenix, Joe, owns the app, and he co-owns it with Joyner Lucas, if you guys know who that rapper is. He's great. He's got songs with Eminem, Logic, super, super popular. Some of his music videos have like 200 million views.
Wow.
Definitely diamond, platinum songs have been recorded at that studio. Bone Thugs and Harmony have a multiple times platinum album recorded at that studio. Lil Wayne's The Carter 3.
Wow.
Which is a multiple times platinum. was also recorded at that studio. It's going to be huge. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to go down and show everyone what I can do. Um,
Maybe we can do a little exclusive behind the scenes on All Access Live when you're down in the studio and share a little bit of the console and you working with the engineers there.
definitely.
This is the cover here, Big Cap Deluxe. If people go to any of the standard channels, they can get a copy of this on December 2nd, 2022, just in time for Christmas. So make sure that you save your ducats, folks, and get this into all your kids' stockings. Kaleb Rankin, I'm really, really appreciative of you being here. I think it's nice to be able to take a little look at the hard work that you've done the last year or two. And
Thank you.
hopefully, we're going to see you on stage pretty soon with one of those 3 artists. If Travis Scott catches this, make sure that he hears your influence and sees the contributions he could make on his tour.
Most definitely. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Right on, buddy. Well, I want to thank our sponsor again, 5 Star Guitars, for making this show happen. Again, thank you so much to our new YouTube members. If you came here late and you've not done so, do me a favor, go to youtube.com/@accesskevin and not only subscribe and like this video, but become a member and you'll get preview access to our upcoming episodes. So thank you again, Kaleb Rankin, and good luck on the Big Cap record. Guys, have a great day.